Don't Fear the Vegan is Salem's television resource for vegan lifestyle information and is intended for the vegan curious and the vegan connoisseur alike. The following telecast contains scenes of extreme deliciousness that may be inappropriate for hungry viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to this episode of Don't Fear the Vegan. Today we have special guest Laura from Cherry City Vegans, and we're going to be showing you a few ideas of things you can bring to a vegan potluck or barbecue. If you make it to the end of the episode, we have a special giveaway. Don't forget, you can get all the recipes at don'tfearthevegan.com. I hope you're ready because we're going to get started. So today we're here with Laura from Cherry City Vegans. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about Cherry City Vegans?
Yeah, Cherry City Vegans is a new organization in Salem. We're not a 501c3 or anything formal like that because we really just got started up. But we started because I moved to Salem a year and a half ago, and one morning, soon after moving here, I was going to go out to breakfast, and then I started looking at the menus of restaurants, and I actually started crying because I'd moved here from Portland, and I was like, I'm never going to get to go out to eat breakfast ever again. And I just started looking online and realized that there wasn't really any vegan groups organized in the Salem area. So we formed the organization to be kind of community resources, support, outreach events, or just kind of an umbrella under which anything vegan, vegetarian in the greater Salem area can take place.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the fact that there's not any standalone vegan restaurants here, but you guys go to support the places that do offer vegan goods, which is cool.
And there's actually a lot. You know, when I first started, I didn't know what there was because if you go on Happy Cow, which is the main place that people go to look for vegan and vegetarian food, it was like Chipotle, and there was one person who put a blog post up on her blog about places you can eat vegan, but it wasn't, totally comprehensive. And now that I'm out in the community looking around, I'm actually finding that there's lots of places that have
at least one item, right?
Yeah, we created a dining guide on our website. You can go to cherrycityvegans.com.
So you guys have done a lot of events in the community lately. Can you tell us about a few of them?
So once we got the website up, we started doing community outreach and reaching out and having meetings. So we've had a couple meetings so far, and over 20 people came between the two meetings. So I know that there's at least 20 people in the greater Salem area who care enough about veganism to come to a meeting.
Cool.
And then we had a table at the first Earth Day the Salem has had for 18 years.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we did outreach, and people were really, really receptive at it, and we gave out over 1,000 pieces of vegan literature.
Oh my gosh.
At the event, so that felt really good. And we had volunteers that volunteered at the table all day. It wasn't just the same two people, it was 6 different people tabling throughout the day. And then recently we did a film screening of the film Cowspiracy.
Yeah, that was cool. We got to go to that.
Yeah, and that felt really good to see. There's probably about 50 people there.
Yeah, it was pretty full. I got my mom to go, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, and I know people came up to me afterwards who asked me questions about going vegetarian, and so I know that there were people there that minds were changed by that film, and that feels really good. We actually did that on Earth Day. So one of our members is going on KMUZ regularly and talking about veganism, about resources, about how to cook vegan.
Maybe we should get her as a guest.
Yeah, her name's Karen, and she's been vegan for 42 years.
Wow.
So vegan before you could find soy milk in the grocery stores, vegan before anyone even knew what that word meant. And so she's going on the radio show and just talking about what it is to be vegan and
that's awesome.
How to be vegan, and so that's another way that we're doing outreach in the community. And we did a dine out where we went to Venti's, and they made a special vegan menu for us that night.
Oh, that's cool.
And I feel like dine outs are a really good way to show business owners that we are a market force. We have dollars and we want to spend them at your business if you provide us with vegan options. So
yeah, that's why I like supporting the local restaurants that are doing it, because they can see that, wow, they are out there. Yeah. It's cool. So where can the viewers find you on social media?
So we have a website, which is cherrycityvegans.org and .com. We also are on Facebook/CherryCityVegans, all one word, no spaces. We also have an Instagram account, which is Cherry City Vegans, and I do my best to, when I'm eating out, to remember to take pictures of the food and to show people some of the dining options. And If you want our newsletter, you can sign up for that on our website, cherrycityvegans.com.
Okay.
And we send out a MailChimp every 3 weeks or so, and that includes not only information about what we're doing, but we talk about what local farm sanctuaries are doing.
Oh, okay.
We have potlucks. We're having a potluck June 20th. If people are interested, that's going to be at Green Acres Farm Sanctuary. So potluck / animal cuddle party or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And so if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get that information, as well as a lot of those postings are on Facebook too.
Well, thanks for that. So what were you planning on making for us today?
So today we're doing a barbecue episode. So I figured I'd do my favorite barbecue meal, which is loved by omnivores and vegans alike,
Nice.
which is a Lebanese marinade.
Okay.
It's pretty simple to make, and then also potato salad that I love to make, and that is also something that I get huge compliments on whenever I bring that to any potluck where there's lots of omnivores. They always love it, and
That's cool. I love having things that omnivores will eat too.
yes.
Okay, so now we're going to do some prep work and get the stuff ready for the kebabs and I guess the potato salad too.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.
Today, she gave me a list of vegetables we could choose from. I chose zucchini, yellow squash, we have crimini and white mushroom, some tomatoes, bell pepper,
How are you?
sweet potatoes. And I baked the sweet potatoes for a little bit just to make them so they cook quicker on the grill.
Yeah, I love all these vegetables. I also love to use cauliflower. Eggplant is one that, if you love eggplant, it turns out really good. It really soaks up the oil in the marinade.
Which we don't, that's why we didn't buy it.
Right, if you don't like eggplant, don't use it. If you like eggplant, you'll love this with eggplant, potatoes, regular potatoes or sweet potatoes. You could even do broccoli if you want, or...
So besides Cherry City Vegan, you also have a camp that you run, right?
Yep.
And what's that called?
It's called Youth Empowered Action Camp, or YAY Camp.
And what is that exactly?
That's a camp for 12 to 17-year-olds who want to make a difference in the world. So we serve all vegan food, which is one of the things that makes the camp unique, but that's not the purpose of the camp. A lot of the kids who come to the camp are not vegan or vegetarian, but that's just one way that we highlight that that's the difference you can make is by what you choose to eat every day.
Cool. So how does a kid apply for that?
So they go to our website, which is yeacamp.org, yeacamp.org, and there's an application process that's just really just asking them why do they want to come to the camp and what do they care about.
Yeah, we can go? Yeah, go. Okay, so that's the garlic and cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
That's your cayenne pepper and salt.
Does this have paprika in it?
It's right behind you.
Oh, I was gonna say because it takes a lot of paprika.
Yeah.
And I use regular, but you can also use the pimenton, which is smoked paprika, which gives it a kind of a different flavor. I haven't really figured out what the difference is between them, but they are different. But this is very paprika-y. And then you just wanna, it's okay. And then you wanna just, stir it to coat everything, let everything coat.
So it calls for a cup of lemons. If you want to use fresh lemons, it took 6 big ones, just so you have a reference point of how many you need. And then how long would you recommend letting it sit?
I would recommend letting it sit as long as possible, up to 24 hours in the refrigerator. So if you have a barbecue the next day, I do recommend doing this the day in advance, because the longer it sits, the more it will soak up the flavor through the vegetables. So
We have it pretty well stirred up, so now we're just going to set it aside and let it marinate for a while we start on the potato salad.
sounds good.
Cool. gonna make Laura's potato salad. Can you tell us what's in it?
Yeah, it's called doubly red potato salad, but I guess it should be called triply red potato salad because it actually has red onions, beets, and red potatoes. I used to for years leave the beets out because I didn't like beets, but now I like beets. So
because I love beets.
Yeah,
I like them now.
I know everyone was like, "You're crazy! How can you not like beets?" And now I like beets. So, and then the dressing is just Viennaise or Veganaise, however you want to say it, and tofutti sour cream. Which, how could you go wrong with that? It's fat and delicious. And then olives, and the recipe calls for black olives. I actually like to use Kalamata because I think Kalamata olives taste amazing.
Cool.
And they're Greek, so they go good with Lebanese
skewers,
because it's all that Mediterranean goodness. So
the dill smells amazing. As you already know, I love dill.
Yes. Yeah. So really, the only seasoning in it is salt and dill.
For now, and then just so you know, the recipe for this will be on don'tfearthevegan.com.
And you can modify it too if you aren't a big fan of onions raw in your potato salad. You don't have to use them.
And I cheated a little bit. I added extra sour cream because I just had to clean out the container. It wasn't worth putting it away. You can't go wrong with extra sour cream.
You can't. You really cannot. Salt. So it does turn, pink.
Cool.
Alright, how much more I want to mix this.
And do you let this sit for a while as well?
Not really. This is pretty much, if the potatoes are cooled,
that's fine.
You can pretty much just eat it right away. It doesn't really get a lot of extra flavor just by sitting in the mayonnaise.
We're going to let it sit today just because we have skewers to make still. I was just curious.
It certainly wouldn't hurt to make this a day in advance and stick it in the fridge overnight. That would be totally fine if you don't want to make everything for your barbecue the day of.
It's really pretty. It looks really springy.
Alright.
Cool. Awesome. So that's the salad, and we'll be right back to get ready with the skewers.
Now the key here is not to actually stab yourself.
Right. Which I usually do.
I have done so many times making skewers. Vary what you put on there by color.
Right. We forgot earlier that we added tempeh to the mix. So we add that in for some protein if you want. You could also add tofu.
Yep, you could add kielbasa, tofurkey, kielbasa kind of things, like field roast if you want, whatever you want,
If you've never made skewers before, you do want to make sure that you but soak the sticks in water so they don't catch on fire on the grill. I've had it happen.
Yep, me too. Before I knew that trick.
It's a great thing to bring to a barbecue. I guarantee that if you do, other people are going to want some, so bring extra.
Yes.
It's amazing how they'll make fun of vegans at barbecues, but they always want your food.
It's true.
So as you can see, they're really pretty. You can mix it up however you want. And as we said before, you could add different vegetables depending on what you like. We were just talking, and we've decided that we are going to do the baking method today because in typical Northwest fashion, it decided to start raining. So what should I turn the oven on to?
Probably pretty high, like 400.
Okay, perfect.
And then if you are going to bake it in the oven, you do have a little bit of an advantage in that you can bake them in a pan with more marinade.
Oh, yeah.
While soaking in the marinade, they'll get even more flavor. When they're on the grill, obviously you can't be cooking them in their little juices.
So in here we have them stacked. You probably don't want to bake them like that, right?
I wouldn't recommend because these ones will be really dry on top.
I guess. Cool. Okay, well, we're going to finish these up and then we'll come back for baking. So everything's skewered and we're going to go ahead and stick them in the oven. Again, it's at 400 degrees, so we decided 400 degrees, and we're thinking about a half hour. We're not really sure. Again, this was our second choice because we were going to grill. So we'll let you know when we're done how long they were in for. Okay, so we had the oven set to 400. My oven's convection, and it's taken about 20 minutes, and they look like they're ready to take out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now.
They look so good.
And they smell good. Smell-o-vision, where are you? All right, well, we're back with our skewers. They are so beautiful, and this is a really colorful plate. I love the pink potato salad. Thanks again for coming in and teaching us how to make this. Make sure you check out cherrycityvegans.com. Also, if you want the recipes, check out don'tfearthevegan.com, and we'll hook you up. Let's try it.
Enjoy.
I love the lemon. The flavor is so good, and the little bit of cayenne you put in just adds just a moderate amount of spice. It's really good. And potato salad is super creamy, which is good because I hate dry potato salad. Alright, well, we're going to continue eating. Remember, to your next barbecue, these are perfect skewers to bring along and make extra because people will definitely want them. Thank you.
Bye.
After trying Laura from Cherry City Vegan's skewers yesterday, we were inspired to make our own that would accompany her dish really well. We're going to make tofu lemon skewers, and today the weather is beautiful, so we can actually do them on the barbecue, which we're really excited about. For this recipe, you are going to need to press your tofu. There's a few of you out there that might have tried this before. What we're doing is pressing the tofu. It's especially important to press your tofu when you're going to marinate it. What will happen is the pressing will get all the liquid out, and then when you marinate it, the tofu will absorb all the liquid back in. We used to have to press like this, balancing whatever we could find that was heavy enough to press the tofu. And when you do this, you run into multiple problems. Sometimes they tip over, sometimes the tofu comes out uneven. Fortunately, we don't have to use this method anymore because we have a new tool that we love in our kitchen. Let me get this old method out of the way. The new method we prefer is this tool. It's called an easy tofu press. And the person that created this was genius. So you take your tofu, we have another one right here, and you stick it in. You want it to be kind of even. And then you spin so it tightens up. Once you get to the point where it doesn't feel like it'll go anymore, you let it sit. While we're letting that happen, we're going to get the marinade ready for the tofu. So it calls for lemons. Since it's a marinade and we're not going to really eat the marinade, I'm not going to worry about the pulp or the seeds. I'm just going to dump all the liquid in. Normally you'd need 2 normal size lemons. These ones are huge. So I got 3 to double it. And remember, as always, you can find the recipe on don'tfearthevegan.com. Okay, and then you also use some olive oil. Okay, I'm going to take a break for a second. It's about time to re-spin our tofu press. So we're just going to go back, press it down a little bit, try to make it as even as possible. You can already see the moisture coming out. We're just going to set this back aside while we continue with our marinade. Also have salt. As usual, I like Himalayan salt, so that's what we're using, and lemon pepper. Just stir that up. And then I have a bunch of thyme. At this point, for the recipe originally, I measured it. I never measure anymore. I just kind of cut the sprigs in half and throw it all in. We like thyme. And you're not really eating it, it's just adding flavor to the marinade, so. So we're spinning it some more. I find for the grill though, the extra firm works the best. The softer stuff tends to fall apart a little bit easier. Okay, so this has been pressing for about 15 minutes. So now we're gonna loosen it up and get the tofu out of here so we can get it cut up for this. Usually my daughter likes to do this. It's kind of like a toy. If you can see on here, I like the skewers to be about that thick. So what I'll do is just cut this way. Or I guess not thick, wide. And then about that good. You don't want it too thin because you want the skewer to go through without poking through. It's kind of a gentle process. This is extra firm tofu, so it's not as wet initially as other types of tofu. So you're not going to get as much moisture out of it, but you'll still get quite a bit. So now I'm just going to take them and put them in this pan. And for the show purposes, we're not going to let them marinate for that long. We usually try to do them the night before and let them sit overnight in a container and just cover it up so they marinate longer. So we have a double batch here, and now I'm just going to pour the marinade over the top. A lot of times I'll do one with a lid, especially if I'm doing it overnight, and that way I can shake it a little bit to get the flavors around. Since that's not the case today, I'll just have to make sure to flip these in a little while. And because we're in a hurry, we're just going to put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes to let it marinate, and then we'll start to skewer them up. You have to remember also, if you're using skewers on the grill, that you want to let them soak so they don't burn. I'm just going to flip them over. The other side's been soaking. Set those aside. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. The tofu's been marinating. We're ready to put it on skewers now. So we're just going to take them. And again, you want to be gentle, otherwise it goes through the tofu. It won't be the end of the world. It just makes it easier to flip on the grill. The higher you can get it up. So I usually try to feel like to about this point. Oh, blew it. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. We'll just go back through. Weird, the skewer broke. It's okay. And then you'll just continue with this process. I think this is enough to show you how to grill it. All right, so we're gonna take these out to the grill and get started. Follow me. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these on the grill. I like to have a little of the marinade to pour over the top of them while they're grilling. And depending on how hot the barbecue is, they can cook pretty quickly. As a vegan, I don't play with the barbecue too often. This could be dangerous. And we want to keep it going until it gets brown on the sides, and then we'll flip it over. Do we have a fire extinguisher? That one looks pretty good. I'm gonna flip that one. Beautiful. So these are done. We're going to get them off the grill, go back inside, plate up with Laura's food from yesterday, and eat. That wraps up this edition of Don't Fear the Vegan. Here's our finished plate. We have the Lebanese vegetable skewers with tempeh, the tofu skewers with lemon thyme marinade, and the potato and beet salad with dill. All are really good. They all accompany each other very well, but they all also could stand alone on their own. Thanks again to Laura from Cherry City Vegans for coming out and teaching us her recipes. Also, thank you to Easy Tofu Press for giving us tofu presses to give away. Remember, you can find all the recipes on don'tfearthevegan.com, as well as the information for the giveaway. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.